Hello, and welcome back to Otome Sekai no Arukikata. We're gonna continue where we left off. Originally, I wanted to read the continuation of Kazuku Keikaku, Oshiete Kazuku Keikaku, but so that one's so the DRM for Kazuku Keikaku, Oshiete Kazuku Keikaku is sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like it tries to access the service that owns it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And right now it doesn't. So I'm forced to read this right now. I mean I'm enjoying this, but I originally scheduled to read. I was already scheduled to read the Kazuku Keikaku because we're probably close to finishing a single route. I mean, it's a single playthrough anyway. Anyway, New Tokyo City. The capital city of the nation called Nihon, an island country where humanity has declined. It used to be called Tachikawa, a common city that occupied one corner of the world's largest metropolitan area. In the past, humanity have flourished to the point of creating super mega cities where enormous buildings stretch endlessly.
見ての通り、この辺りは放棄地区。今は使われていません。でも昔は大きな建物の一つ一つに人がぎっしりだったそうですよ。あかりちゃんはその使われてない場所で何してたの？笑いません？よっぽど面白ければ保証はできない。
笑ったらこいつ殴るから大丈夫だよ。
暴力的？ロボットじゃないんですから、コンビニ。
冗談だから。
In the year 2100XX AD, the prolonged war with the robots had led to the decline of what was once a megacity, leaving half of it in ruins. The fact that their leader was the environmental AI Gaia made it clear what the rebelling robots were after. Human extinction. In the end, everyone realized that the true evil infesting the planet was humanity itself. By the way, I implore you guys to read Suina Stella. It has an interesting take about this. But anyway. Half a century ago, also that was written by Romeo Tanaka, so that's going to be interesting. Anyway, half a century ago, robots that had been hacked worldwide simultaneously rebelled, claiming the lives of countless people. Humans were driven from the land, and what remained of human society plunged into decline. Even so, it's also a human fate that we can't just sit back and accept our destruction.
秘密基地？手作りの拠点っていうか、隠れ家的なやつ？はい。こっそり作っていろいろ隠してあって、バレたら怒られるので内緒ですよ。見かけによらずやんちゃな遊びしてる。変ですよね。女の子らしくないっていうか。
別にいいと思うけど、私たちも山の中に作ってたし、秘密基地。
そうなんですか？
でも廃墟って言っても街の中でそんなの作ってマザーには気づかれないの？
いくらマザーでもそこまで見てないですよ。いえ、見てるけど何も言ってこないだけかもしれないですけど。
Yeah, probably not worth mother's time. Beyond the singularity, the only thing that could match a quantum computer-equipped AI in terms of information power was another AI. So basically it's an AI versus AI thing. That's why they were created. a new group of AIs and quantum computers independent from the control of Gaia. In this country, a high-functioning AI for social management called Mother was developed, and the operation of the nation has been entrusted to her. To resist the AI, they had to be dominated by it. That was the bitter irony that became humanity's only choice for survival. Under the efficient guidance of Mother, the Japanese survived, by accepting many sacrifices and the end of prosperity. The war with Gaia continues, and even now, 70% of the land remains under the control of robots and wild animals. Even so, after the human resistance intensified, the war entered a stalemate, and decades passed. Humans, women are living peaceful lives, even beside a crumbling ruin. An endless series of skirmishes with the Gaia army, where half our population was sacrificed. They have really nice backgrounds.
どうぞ、どうぞ。ご注文のクレープです。
ありがとう。
I took the sweet-smelling food from the simple-shaped hand of the automaton, who was manning the stall. This machine is under the protection of Mother, so it's safe, unlike the combat robots of the Gaia army. I know, I should understand, but I still feel a little nervous.
オートマタ、お嫌いですか？
辺境にもいたけど、あんまり直接話したりはしなかったから。
In this day and age, human beings can't survive on their own due to the severe shortage of labor, especially the part where half of the population is fighting a war and the other half is managing whatever. I don't know what the other half's doing. Well, that's why you have this visual novel to know. That's why automatons, as a source of mechanical labor, are essential and commonly found on construction sites.
接客業をさせているのは珍しいですよね。機械が苦手な人も多いですから。
まあ、当然のことだとは思う。
でも、それでもみんな買いに来てくれるくらい、ここのクレープは美味しいんですよ。
Since no one will bother messing with the machine, it might be a good security choice if you're confident in its taste. In its taste? Good security choice if you're confident in its taste.
これめっちゃ甘くて絶品。
So TLDR, I guess they didn't want to complain because fucking with the machine would like mess their lives.
あ、本当に。
I took a bite of the crepe I received. I was surprised by its refined sweetness without any off flavors.
これって本物のお砂糖使ってる？人工甘味料じゃなくて？だと思いますよ。ちょっとお高いですけど、それだけの価値はある味ですよね。
うん、すっごく美味しい。
お口に合ってよかったです。やっぱり案内頼んで正解だったね。お姉ちゃん。
まあ、そうだね。
お詫びくらいにはなりました？
うん、十分だよ。
While being led around, I slowly tried to gauge her reaction, but she didn't seem to have any inkling about my true identity. It was probably just a needless worry.
あ、危な。大丈夫です。またつまずいちゃいました。
Okay, so she's the klutzy, clumsy type.
あれ？ああ、私のクレープが。
She tripped over nothing and dropped the crepe she was holding. It's hard to imagine a scatterbrained girl suddenly trying to find out who I really am. so I don't think she's someone we should be wary about.
私の半分食べる？
いえ、そういうわけには。
Just as she was trying to refuse, her stomach growled at a fairly decent volume.
どうぞ。
一口だけいただきます。僕のも一口どうぞ。
Looking at this person makes me feel incredibly relaxed. Being surrounded by women, I guess I was too complacent.
お洋服は大丈夫ですか？
はい。落としてしまってすみませんでした。
By the way,
私のミスなので作り直しとかは大丈夫です。
by the way, I'm not too worried about like another person being able to find out his identity. I'm actually worried about like the robot being able to quickly determine that this is actually a dude. You know what I mean? Because that's I'd expect like a robot. You know, I don't know, man.
かしこまりました。ゴミを回収します。
An automaton approached and began to clean up the fallen crap. Probably if I complained, they'd do something about it. But the fact that she didn't even bother speaks anything, bother saying anything speaks volumes about Akari's character.
ところで、お二人は保安隊付属の学校に入学されるんですよね。そうだよ。アカシア女子学園。さっきも話したけど。
そういえばその話が途中だったね。
Since I can't move into the dorms until tomorrow, which has the entrance ceremony, I was planning to stay at the hotel just for tonight. Though that conversation got sidetracked when we ended up in the lively market.
ですね、実は。
Just as Akari was about to say something.
およ、何か載ってない？私です。メッセージが。
And with that, she took out her mobile device and started operating the touchscreen.
ちゃんとしたスマホだ。動いてるの初めて見た。
Wait, in 2100 they still use smartphones? What?
辺境じゃ電波弱くてどうせ使い物にならないし。こら、覗き込まない。
Scolded Yaika, who was trying to peek at the screen with a blatant curiosity.
すみません。実はこの後約束があって時間を潰していたんですけど、もういいみたいで。
呼び出し？
はい。それで私、そろそろ行かないと。そっか。じゃあここでお別れかな。
本当に助かったよ。ありがとう。い
え、こちらこそご迷惑をおかけしました。それじゃあまた。
またね、あかりさん。
Even though we might never see each other again, for some reason those words just slipped out.
はい、また会いましょうね。バイバイ。
And with that, Akari disappeared into the crowd at a run.
ゆいちゃんってさ、ああいう子が好きそうって思ってたけど、彼女だよね。
は？どういう意味？
ちょっと抜けててふわふわしてるっていうか、うちのお母さんに近い感じ。
まあ、そういう雰囲気ってのは分からなくもないけど。
マザコンだな。あの子、気に入ったでしょ。
全然そんなんじゃないし、急に何言い出すの？
You know what? I actually don't know how. I hope they explain later on, like how the segregation works, because I don't know if they still reproduce naturally or like, you know, artificial insemination or some shit like that. Or like, do some women completely never see a guy for their entire life? I don't know.
いちゃん、自分で気づいてない？あかりちゃんと会ってからちょっと明るくなってる。
Wait, why did it translate that? Oh, give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm hosting my LLM on the virtual machine, and for some reason I had some connection issue for a few seconds, so I didn't send the response. Anyway, let's try to.
ゆいちゃん、自分で気づいてない？あかりちゃんと会ってからちょっと明るくなってる。
それはあの子が変だから調子が狂って。もうさっさと宿に行くよ。
おーい。
規則はちゃんと覚えた？いっぱいあるんだから寝るまで復習するよ。
なんかごまかそうとしてない？
してない。
I was doing it, but the fact that she needed to memorize the rules was also true. Episode 1, City for Women Only. Well, I think both of them need to memorize the rules, whatever rules they were thinking about, just to keep him, to hide his real gender. The next morning, I left the inn where I was staying. I got a little lost on the way, but I managed to reach my destination within the designated time.
おお、ここか。なんか思ったよりしょぼい。
ちょっと誰かに聞かれたら怒られるよ。
おっとでもさ、もっとこう要塞みたいで強そうなの想像してたんだけど。
まあ気持ちはわかるけど。
Standing before me was an old, dilapidated wooden school building. It's definitely more impressive than the rural school I used to attend, but it's wrong of me to compare it to that school, with only 2 students. Like Aiga said, it looks like a weak military building, or rather, it could be blown away with a single bomb.
やっぱり後方の施設にお金かけるよりは照明装備に回されちゃうってことかな。
I remember my brother saying something like that once. Back then, I didn't really understand what he meant.
向こうの建物行けばいいみたい。
And Yanko quickly lost interest. And spotting a signboard for new students, she pointed it out to me.
よし、行こうか。
I took a deep breath in secret and started walking. This was the crucial part, so I needed to be prepared for anything.
例の作戦うまくいくかな。
失敗したら全部私のせいにすること。いい？
分かってる。
They nodded to each other solemnly and began walking along the path indicated by the directions. Beyond that was a 2-story building, which felt slightly newer than the school buildings. The sign read Akasha Girls Academy Dormitory. It seemed this was where I'd be living from today. I pushed open the reinforced glass door and entered the building.
おはようございます。新入生の方ですね。
はい。
ではこちらにどうぞ。リン、お願いね。
I was led further inside by what seemed to be a senpai waiting at the entrance, acting as a guide.
おはようございます。ようこそアカシア女子学園へ。お二人の入学手続きを担当する2学年の東堂です。
おはようございます。よろしくお願いします。
お願いします。
Next to appear was a beautiful older woman with a slightly intimidating aura. She seemed like a senpai as well.
では、氏名と入学許可証、本人確認がありますので、身分証もお願いします。
桐結衣です。
Introducing myself, I handed over the documents I had prepared.
片桐八重か妹です。
そこまで聞いていませんが、そうなんですね。ご姉妹でって片桐。
Then Todo Senpai frowned and looked down at the documents.
何か不備でも？
ああ、いえ。お二人の配属が自分の分隊になるもので。改めて分隊長の東堂凛です。よろしく頼みます。
あ、長官になるんですね。お世話になります。
I bowed my head in thanks and urged Yaika next to me to do the same.
よろしくです。
書類の方は問題ありません。身分証はお返しします。
I took my number card that was offered and put it in my wallet. I was worried if it was the real one, so I breathed a sigh of relief inside. Oh, he still kept his real number card. Why would he do that? I mean, I thought from here on, it puts him in a situation that would, endanger him if someone were to get his wallet.
では部屋に案内しましょう。八重香さんは自分と同室になりますが、結衣さんは別室です。部屋長を呼びますので少々お待ちください。守谷学生、新入生がお越しだ。直ちに1階ロビーまで。
Senpai picks up the internal phone and starts talking about something. So I'll be in a different room from Yaika, huh?
八重ちゃん意外としっかりして見える。
Yaika probably just looks intimidated because she's not used to the unique atmosphere of the military. It's just a matter of getting accustomed to it.
っていうか、お姉ちゃんを何だと思ってるの？
寂しがり屋の鬼しょたれ。
やっぱりいい。
I was about to argue back, but I couldn't very well start a fight in front of my senpai. Not wanting to draw any unwanted attention, I decided to keep quiet and watch the situation unfold. Soon after, it seems the other senpai who was summoned has come running over here.
おはようございます。片桐結衣さんは？
はい、私です。
部屋長の守谷美久です。今後結衣さんの生活指導を担当します。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
She was the type of person who had a calm and collected air about her. She was incredibly beautiful, but that made her feel slightly unapproachable, causing me to tense up. No good. Being surrounded by strange women just makes me feel incredibly uneasy. I can't help but imagine that I'm about to be unmasked and shot at any moment.
では部屋へと案内します。ついてきてください。
わかりました。
八重香さんも一緒に。自分たちは彼女らと隣の部屋になります。
はい。お姉ちゃん、隣ならすぐ遊びに行けるから。
Not noticing my tension, Yaika gives me an encouraging smile. With that, I calmed down a little and looked up, nodding in return. I followed behind our senpai, walking alongside Yaika. Whether I could pull it off or not would depend on what happened next. I climbed the stairs and stopped in front of one of the doors lined up before me.
この部屋です。まずは制服への着替えを行います。深刻なサイズで用意してありますが、まずは試着から。
はい。実はご相談したいことがあって。
要請を受領。中で伺います。
え？はい。
すまない。ミクは少々ロボットじみているというか、言動が変に堅苦しいんだが、こういう性格というだけで怒ってるわけじゃないんだ。
Miku, robot. Kinda sus. I mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, we know it's a trope that eventually, at some points, the robots will create infiltrator units. Anyway.
抗議します。ロボットは差別用語に該当。大変遺憾です。
ああ、もう分かったから。お前本当に先輩なんてやれるのかね。
適性は分かりかねますが、努力します。片桐さん、中へどうぞ。失礼します。
By the way, obviously, if you got it this far, you obviously seen that like the gender and the person is sometimes incorrect. So, very important for you to consider the context of the situation. If I had MLT translate the whole script, it would probably fix that problem because it has full context of the story. But like, what I'm doing right now is I'm just sending one line per line to my own LLM. I still don't really understand though, senpai. Filled with nothing but anxiety, I pushed open the door in front of me. Honestly, I was so distracted by the centralized interaction that I completely let my guard down. Oh, we're starting good again today. What caught my eye was skin colored. I hesitated, trying to close the door in a hurry. Because I'm a girl now, if it were two guys, they'll probably just greet each other and go in normally, even if they ran into each other changing. And I bet it's the same for girls too. That's why I had to act normal, so no one gets suspicious. But the roundness of her butt, the whiteness of her thighs, the curve of her waist, the swell of her breasts. Feeling my face flush in an instant, I managed to mumble a greeting with a shaky voice. Our eyes locked. The one changing clothes was the beautiful girl who had shown me around town yesterday.
なんであかりさんがここに言いそびれちゃってたんですけど、実は私もこの学校に入学することになってて。
Akari-san, looking delighted, swayed her body still in her underwear. Seeing her beautifully shaped butt and breasts quiver, I...
大丈夫ですか？顔が真っ赤ですけど。ごめんなさい。失礼しました。
Feeling overwhelmed, I quietly closed the door behind me.
何やってるんだ？さっさと入れよ。
ちょっとだけ待ってください。顔が赤くなっています。体温の著しい上昇を推測。保健室での検査を推奨します。違うんです。熱とかじゃなくて、お手洗い行ってもいいでしょうか？
ああ。ガキじゃないんだから先に言うように、トイレは向こうの角だ。さっさと済ませてこい。
ありがとうございます。行ってきます。
Trying to buy some time to calm down, I hurriedly left the spot. 先行きが不安すぎる。After timing it so that I returned from the restroom just as Akari finished changing.
すでにお知り合いの様子ですが、予定では最初に自己紹介をすることになっています。氏名と出身地程度で結構です。新入生の姫野あかりです。よろしくお願いします。立川南区出身です。
I felt a glance from my senpai. I straightened up and took a breath.
新入生、片桐結衣です。秩父市出身です。声が出ていて大変良いでしょう。私は守谷美久、2学年です。出身はつくば市です。 今後1年間はこの3人部屋となりますので、仲良くするように努めてください。
I could only nod solemnly in response to being told so calmly.
でも本当に偶然ですね。まさか部屋まで一緒になるなんて運命的っていうか。そうですね。どうしてそんなに目をそらすんですか？いえ、ちょっと。
Looking at Akari, I felt like I can see through her clothes to the lingerie she was wearing earlier, even though she's dressed. Seriously, this guy, even though we're in a situation where that shouldn't be the focus, she just keeps messing things up with her antics.
お知り合いかと思ったのですが、仲が良いわけではないのでしょうか？そうなんですか？
そんなことは大丈夫です。ちゃんと仲良くしたいと思ってます。
I desperately tried to maintain my composure as I look up at Akari-san. Even through the clothes, they're still big. Wait, Mika-senpai's even bigger.
視線を感知。私の胸はどうかしましたか？なんでもないです。
This is bad. This is a complete molestation. Even if you don't touch them with a single finger, it can be considered sekohara. And if a woman just says that person's a molester, the sentence could be that. A crime that's almost disappeared since the Gender Segregation Act was passed. But in the past precedents before that, it was like that. I mean, what the hell was with that old world? It was way too unfair.
片桐さん？
ゆいでいいよ。片桐だと妹の八重香と紛らわしいし。
My frustration with women ironically calmed me down. The research I've done beforehand on what would happen if my identity was exposed actually came in handy.
それじゃゆいちゃん。
昨日は助けてくれてありがとう。これからもよろしくね。
はい。私のことも呼び捨てにしてくださいね。
じゃああかり。
早速お友達ができちゃいました。
Putting on a fake smile, I feel an odd itchiness. Compared to her carefree self, I feel bad for putting on an act.
仲良しになったのでしたらそれで結構です。お二人は互いに今後の学生生活におけるパートナー、互いに協力しながら訓練を受けていただきます。そうなんですね。頑張ります。では片桐さんの制服への着替えをお願いします。そちらのベッドに一式揃えてあります。
はい。それについて相談したいことがあるんですが。
そういえば何か話があると言っていましたね。
And then, as planned, I'll talk about a certain situation.
貧乳教ですか？すみません、聞いたことがない宗教です。
So,
ヒンズー教とは別なんだよね。
okay, so I see. So they tried to make an excuse on a lot of things by using religion. Well, that's interesting.
とてもマイナーで地元の一部でしか知られていないから、胸の小さな女性に救済を解く教えで日常生活で清純さを求められるんです。
Sure.
コメントに困る宗教ですね。
それで教えの中に他人に肌を見せてはならないというものがありまして。
Of course, it's all a pack of lies. But in this country, freedom of religion is guaranteed by the law and by mother. Maza.
なるほど。宗教上の事情があるので配慮を求めたいと。
ダメでしょうか？
いえ、構いません。着替えと入浴については対応可能です。他に問題になりそうな興味はありますか？食事などで禁忌がありましたら食堂に伝えておきますが。
I'm pretty sure they have shared baths and all, but like how would he take a bath without them noticing his dick? Unless it's like I don't know, man. It's closed. I don't know what kind of bathroom they have. For a moment, I almost mentioned tomatoes and green peppers as things I dislike, but I figured that would be too much of a cheat.
いえ、他は大丈夫です。裸になることだけ避けられれば。
それで私の着替えを見たとき、あんなにオロオロしてたんだ。
I like that bullshit.
そんな感じ。
It's not that noble, you know. Sorry about that.
承知しました。教官にも伝達しておきます。反対意見は出るかもしれませんが、片桐さんは召集ですから。
Oops, my bad. Probably if I apply to get in on my own, I'll be getting yelled at for being selfish.
じゃあ、ゆいちゃんの着替え中は出て行った方がいい？今後毎回そこまでするのは難しいと思われます。ベッドの下段にカーテンを取り付けてそちらを利用していただくというのは。
Yeah, changing screen is enough.
それで大丈夫です。ありがとうございます。
It's a little nerve-wracking to undress with just with a curtain separating us, but I think we can manage for now. So flat. I wonder why.
ゆいちゃん制服似合うじゃん。
ありがとう。八重かもね。
僕は何着ても可愛いから。
そうだね。あかりほどじゃないけど。
Why is the thing on their neck different? Like, Akari has like a ribbon. Yaika has a tie. Our bro is like, I don't even know what the hell that is.
もうちょっと身長と胸があればな。
I finished changing and came out of the makeshift private room, only to find Yaika and Toto senpai from next door already here.
宗教的な事情については承知した。入浴時間なども他のものとは別になるように配慮しよう。
That's so. That's a good thing they're very considerate.
はい、ありがとうございます。
しかし妹の方は普通に着替えていたが、いいのか？
なあ、経験なしんとはお姉ちゃんだけなんて。今時教えがどうのこうのって古臭いですよね。
八重か。
はいはい、ごめんなさい。
まあ大抵の若者はそんなものだろう。君の信仰をバカにするつもりはないが、ほどほどにな。
It seems the little play went well. I thought I'd be suspected more, but religious freedom is clearly respected in this country.
リン、そろそろ学園内の案内を。すでに当初のスケジュールから15分38秒遅延しています。
Also notice that well, they're both wearing ties, but like what's her name is Miku is like has a black shirt while Rin is like just wearing a white shirt. I don't get it. Maybe it's a rank thing. I don't know.
おっと、そうだな。今日はやることが多いんだった。まずは寮内を案内するので、新入生はついてくるように。
退出前に服装のチェックを。着崩すのは構いませんが、みすぼらしく見えるのは指導の対象です。
Subject to correction.
服にシワが寄っていたり、糸がほつれているのは NG だ。着こなしは構わないが、手抜きは許さんというわけだな。
You know, they had this thing going on, but if you look at their outfits they're wearing, they're clearly like they're only, like they're not exactly as uniform as a uniform. Like their uniforms look the same, but how they wear it is so different from each other, man.
なるほど。
境界線が曖昧だから最初は戸惑うのも無理はない。見てあげるから背筋を伸ばして立ちなさい。
おはざます先輩。片桐学生、体が少し曲がっています。そのまま動かずに。
え？あ、はい。
Miku senpai gets close enough that I can reach out and touch her. She touches the tie at my collar with delicate fingertips. Somehow, a really nice smell wafts over, and I got flustered.
もしかして触れられるのもダメだった？ゆいちゃん、おろおろしてるから。
ちょっと慣れてないだけで。
よかった。昨日のあれ、もしかしてとんでもないことしちゃってたのかなって。
On the terrible. I still don't get how segregated they are. So, you know.
とんでもない体勢にはなってたけど。
そうだよね。ごめんなさい。
It would be best to avoid physical contact if possible, but I decided against setting any new taboos since it might just complicate things.
手洗いなどは各階にありますが、その他の共用施設はおおむねこの辺りにまとまっています。
風呂はそこの廊下の先、その手前に食堂がある。それぞれ利用時間がきっちり決まっているからよく確認すること。遅れたら飯も風呂も抜きになるぞ。
I followed after the senpais, scribbling down notes as they gave a rough explanation.
このロビーには自販機なども置いてあるが、割高なのでやむを得ない場合以外は売店を使った方がいい。
I wonder who owns who owns the vending machines. In fact, why do they? Isn't this like you know, this is a military school, right? Why are the vending machines? Well, I don't know. For some reason, the vending machines are also privately owned. I thought the state would own them or some shit, but you know, I don't know, man. I guess I guess that's how it works. I don't know, man.
その売店、購買部がそこに見えている店舗です。制服と寝床、日に3度の食事は提供されますが、最低限ですので、必要なものは自前での購入となります。
どちらも支払いは学生証で行い、給料から天引きされる。が、今日のところは金のことは気にするな。我々先輩がおごってやろう。
So I'm guessing in their first month they got an advance because obviously they don't have cash, you know, unless they suffer like you know, a new employee. They had to have cash somehow. So okay, at least they're being a cadet means I don't know how being a cadet works because I've never been involved in something like that, but like I guess they do get some wages and salaries.
ああ、遠慮はいらないぞ。我々も新入生の時は先輩におごってもらったんだ。
It's kind of a tradition, I guess, but still.
お菓子売ってるのが見えるんですが、いっぱい買ってもいいですか？
八重か。
いいぞ。お菓子もジュースも好きなだけカゴに入れてきなさい。
先輩大好き。
Jaika ran off to the snack bar with both hands raised. My own stepsister, and yet she's stubbornly determined or something like that.
すみません、しつけがなっていなくて。
She hasn't been properly disciplined, by the way.
いや、田舎の方は流通も途切れがちで、甘いものなんかは貴重品だろ。おごりと言われては浮かれるのも無理はないさ。
そう言っていただけると助かります。
まあ、人の金で食ってつけた余分なカロリーは後できっちり消費させてやるがな。
Again, be careful about the person. She's referring to Yaika. If you push it that far, she'll definitely hold a grudge. Well, anyone will want to avoid unnecessary expenses.
片桐学生と姫野学生の分は私が支払います。どうぞ遠慮なさらずにお好きなものを買ってください。ありがとうございます。でも少しで大丈夫ですので。
Akari, sensing the bad vibe as well, frantically shook her head.
そうですか。ですが必要なものもあるのでそれらは購入してください。個人用のマグカップや歯ブラシなどの衛生用品、金属用の研磨剤も必須です。
Is the polishing for polishing is the polish for polishing buttons or belt buckles?
あと嗜好品もあまり遠慮されると不公平ですので。
わかりました。じゃあ少しだけ。
ごちそうになります。
After that, we went back to the room and were assigned desks and beds. We reviewed the rules and practiced saluting. I thought my body would remember to salute, but apparently it's different for men, so I had to make some major adjustments. Damn. He would be caught right then and there if he saluted in a very different way. If I keep messing it up out of habit, it might raise some weird suspicions, so I should probably be careful.
ちなみに手を上げる敬礼は着帽時のみです。今は練習でかぶっていますが、普段は室内だと帽子を脱いでお辞儀の礼ですので気をつけてください。はい。他に何か質問は？
Just as I was about to answer that it was okay, Akari's face turned bright red as a loud, energetic growl echoed from her stomach.
すみません。続けてください。
Shit, I'm also hungry right now because I haven't ate dinner. I'll take a really quick break. I'm just gonna put some fucking instant noodles in like a pot. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I already had dinner. Let's continue.
いえ、ちょうど昼食の時間です。正確な腹時計ですね。レクチャーはここまでにして食堂に向かいましょう。食事についての説明をします。
You have a perfect internal clock. That's a very interesting comment.
はい、やった。
I could have sworn her stomach was growling yesterday. Maybe this girl is a glutton, despite her looks. She was a beautiful girl, like an old-fashioned idol though. Her panties smell of pee too, so it's kind of a waste. I have no comment. Oh, I just had a slightly rude thought. The cafeteria seemed to operate on a self-service system, where we had to get our own food and serve it at any seat we liked.
あそこのカウンターで料理を受け取り、食べ終わったら食器を返却する。飲み物も向こうに夜間で用意されているから、各自取りに行くように。
Drinks are prepared in a kettle, so everyone drinks tea, I guess. Drink, dessert, fish, meat, salad. I always wondered how they get like some random ass background artist to work on stuff, and then, you know, I don't know where they get their inspiration. I'm talking about the much more modern VNs. Because much more modern VNs had way more backgrounds, and they have more details, of course. Rin Senpai, who had just come back with Yaikag, explained the detailed procedures for using the cafeteria. Even so, the cafeteria was much larger and nicer than I imagined. Even in the military academy, it's still a girls' school after all. It was a far cry from the dim, prefabricated hut I was in with the guys. The stylish base was a first for me, and I felt a little intimidated. Jesus, the men of their society that go off to war in the front lines, they don't even have like a building like this. Jesus Christ. That's why I'm not surprised why a lot of them just randomly has to die.
献立は基本的に全員同じですが、ベジタリアン用やアレルギー食材を抜いたものは申告すれば用意されます。いいえです。
It was a response like choosing between yes and no. I felt I could see those options myself.
質問です。大盛りかおかわりはできますか？
米とパンは好きなだけ食っていい。
マジで。
ただし残すのは現金。時間内に食い終わらないのもアウトだ。
What happens if I get caught?
では料理を取りに行きましょう。今日の昼食はミートソーススパゲッティです。
Meat sauce spaghetti. Maybe I should have had meat sauce spaghetti for dinner. Oh well. It was still noodles though.
おいしそう。
ちなみに培養肉じゃない本物の肉だぞ。
そんな贅沢していいんですか？
Oh, real meat.
政府とマザーが認めた正当な報酬です。必要な栄養でもありますので遠慮はしないように。
わかりました。
It's a little unsettling to indulge in luxuries that would have been impossible in the men's section. My fellow soldiers must still be enduring a meager diet every day in that dangerous
あ
battlefield.
ら、姫のあかり。
And one of the students who passed stopped in her tracks when she saw Akari.
こんにちは、ルリコさん。
この人はあかりの友達？
はい、小学校からのお友達で。
友達呼ばわりはやめてくださる？不愉快ですわ。
This one. It's time. She this one.
そ
The sunlit basketball came right back, and Akari had tears in her eyes. What kind of relationship do they have?
姫のあかりと同じ隊の方々、お初にお目にかかりますわ。自己紹介をさせていただいても？
あ、はい、どうぞ。
私は佐伯瑠璃子。あなた方のような庶民でも名前ぐらいは聞き覚えがあるのではなくって？
いえ、知りませんけど。
もしかしてあなた田舎者ですの？
はい、確かに田舎から来ました。
でしたら覚えておくと良いですわ。そして私と出会えた幸運に感謝することね。
Man, the Ojo laugh. The Ojo speech. Holy shit.
すごい。おほほとか笑う人が現実に存在したんだ。で、誰なの？
ああ、こいつか。噂になってた新入生は。
1学年佐伯瑠璃子。学生データに特記事項あり。我が国現大統領の息女とのことです。
Yo, the daughter of the Daitorio. What the fuck?
いかにも。私こそが大統領の娘。この国の宝ですわ。敬ってもよろしくてよ。
What's what? Since this country doesn't have a class system, there's no particular reason to show her any respect. Or rather, even if she really is a princess, I'm not sure how to react to her.
あかりちゃん、なんかすごい人と知り合いなんだね。実際、瑠璃子さんはすごい人なんだよ。勉強も運動もずーっと学年トップだったし。
その通りよ。あなたみたいな落ちこぼれとは違いますわ。なのにまた同じ学校だなんて、私まで同類に思われるじゃありませんの。
その ごめんなさい。
She's being really rough on Akari, isn't she?
つまりルリコさんはあかりちゃんが嫌い？
すごいストレートに聞くね。
好き嫌い以前にフグ大天の敵同士ですのよ。そう、私はあの日の屈辱を忘れていませんわ。
屈辱。
あれは忘れもしない小学校でのお楽しみ会でしたわ。ゲーム大会のリバーシで姫のあかりと対戦した私は見るも無残に大差負け。あれ以来私たちの間に友情など存在しえない。完璧な私の顔に唯一泥を塗った邪悪な存在、それが姫のあかり。
ものすごく昔のことじゃないですか。それもたまたままぐれで一回勝っただけですよ。
Man, what a hater. Still hates her to this day.
おだまり、姫のあかり、覚悟なさることね。私は負けませんわ。学業、実技、すべてにおいて上回ってコテンパンにしてやりますわ。
What?
その辺はずーっとコテンパンにされてきてますよ。私なんかでルリコさんにはかないませんから。
逃げるな卑怯者。慣れ合うつもりはありませんのよ。完膚なきまでに叩き潰しますわ。
ルリコさん、昔からずっとこんな感じなんです。
I don't really understand it, but she wasn't so much as unpleasant as weird.
佐伯学生、我々はそろそろ食事に取り掛かりたいのだが、もういいか？あら、これを失礼しましたわね。言ってよろしくってよ。ちなみに君の部屋長は誰かな？吉田先輩ですけれど。そうか、後でしつけ直すように言っておくよ。
はて、何の話ですの？
They all left together, leaving the young lady tilting her head in confusion.
この国大丈夫？
別にあの人が世襲で大統領になるわけじゃないから。
But maybe it wasn't so admirable that she came to a school like this, even though she's the daughter of an important politician. She's just weird. I end up seeing the face of that weird girl's parents a few hours later.
皆さん、入学おめでとうございます。私はこの国の大統領、保守党党首の佐伯かなえです。
The important person standing on the stage at the entrance ceremony, the supreme commander of the security forces, was a woman with an air of self-assurance and a confident smile, though she was in her late middle age. What's the issue about her being her late middle age? Come to think of it, she might look a bit like Ruriko-san if you look closely. Still, considering she was an elected president, that's only natural. I'm honestly relieved that she seems like a decent person.
さて、私は大統領ですが、正直そこまで絶対の権力者というわけでもありません。なぜなら、この国の政策をすべて私が決めているわけではなく、その多くがマザーによって立案運営されているからです。マザーの決定に対する拒否権こそ保持していますが、当のマザーが間違いなど起こすわけもありませんので、実質的にはお飾りと言っても良いでしょう。現実としてはこの国の舵取りはほぼ全てマザーに委ねられている。そう言っても過言ではないでしょう。
So she's just like a figurehead, okay? So she's there just to act as like a buffer for Mother. I mean, not towards Mother, but towards people if they don't disagree with Mother, I guess. I mean, okay, it kind of makes sense why she's the supreme commander of the security forces.
そう聞くと政府など必要ないのではないか。AI とオートマタに任せておけばよいのではないか。そう思われる人もきっといるでしょうね。ですが そうではありません。なぜならばマザーは人類に奉仕するために作られた AI であるからです。マザーといえど人間の代表たる国会の議決には逆らえないことになっていますし、実際に国会や政府の方針に沿うような政策が立案運営されています。すなわち我々人間の政府や国会の考えこそがマザーの指針となっている、そう言っても過言ではないのでしょう。
By the way, if you're not familiar with what diet is, when she mentioned earlier, it's Japanese Congress. That's all you need to think.
同じことは現場レベルの政府職員とオートマタとの間にも言えるのでしょう。今も人類側に残ってくれている AI たちは人間の判断を待ってくれているのです。その判断を AI たちへの主導権すらも委ねるような怠慢は我々人類の存在価値を損ねます。社会への関与をなくしてはただの保護動物と変わらなくなるでしょう。
保護動物。Yaika was stifling a yawn in the seat next to me. Akari on the other side looked a little sleepy too. It's mostly the lecture being too warm for its own good.
これから皆さんが所属する保安隊は法律的には正式名称を国家安全保障助成隊といい、英語表記でNSFF と略されることもあります。
Oh, so there's still a concept of English. I wonder what happened to the other countries.
その名の通り、男性軍に頼らず安全を保障する組織であり、さまざまな任務が課されています。災害派遣、海岸地帯の警備、大規模な騒乱や男性逃亡兵への対応。
So basically, the police and any kind of domestic stuff, plus the deserters, the male deserters.
5年ほど前には反乱を起こした男性軍の鎮圧任務で本格的な戦闘になったこともありました。
Oh damn. Okay. There's much more. This is a society that is fresh off from a recent insurrection. So I can imagine that's why there's a lot of women that is straight up going to hate men. 5 years ago. That was only 5 years ago. This guy was already alive at that time.
数ヶ月前に起きたオートマタの暴走事件に対応したのも保安隊です。警察の手に負えない全てが押し付けられると言っても良いでしょう。
Oh, so they even differentiate the police. So the security force is literally like a military force. It's literally a military force. But much more handling on the domestic affairs. Like a supercharged FBI, I guess? I don't know.
さまざまな種類の困難にどう向き合うのか。寛容か、強硬か。それを判断するのは AI ではありません。多くを学んだ皆さん自身の判断でなくてはならないのです。
After the entrance ceremony, we were shown around the school building and facilities within the campus that would become our place of learning. I was told to memorize all the locations and rules in one go, so I practically took notes as I walked around. I did some prep work, but there's just too much to learn in one day. My head feels like it's about to explode. And so, the hectic first day passed by.
はーい、それじゃあ後ろの席の人はプリントを集めてくださいね。
At the instructor's words, those sitting at the back stood up and began collecting the handouts from the people in front. Apparently, this person will be our first year instructor. Her name is Honda Mayumi Sensei. After being shown around the school, we were gathered in this classroom. We were introduced to our instructor and then almost as an afterthought, made to sign a few documents.
宣誓書か。
Declaration? What do you mean? A pledge of loyalty to the nation and the unit, and the vow to serve women's society. That kind of wording is written in one sheet in the documents. So basically a pledge, okay? I mean, it is literally a pledge.
ことを誓って
I hate women. The idea of serving a female-dominated society is a joke. Considering what this country did to my friends, I can't possibly swear loyalty. Yeah, you know what? It's like every single dude, give him a current impression right now, is like it's like 86. If you haven't watched 86, so at the beginning of the show, there's this country called Magnolia. It's filled with like white-haired folks, and during that time, anyone who wasn't part of like the main race of the country were placed into like were conscripted for like service for the military. And it's also another world that has like some robot force that's they're fighting with, and those conscripted are part of the I don't know what you call them, division, or they're called as 86, and they're sent off to war. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. This is basically like the story so far is basically like 86, but instead of like racial superiority, it's all the men are forced to serve, like are conscripted to war, and the women, so far as we know, I don't know. I mean, compared to whatever that the guys are facing versus like what the women are facing in this society, it's like, you know, it's night and day. At least that's the impression I'm given so far. But who knows? I don't even know how the automaton uprising went. If it's literally like, I don't know. It's also as if like automatons have a certain level of like capacity and reasoning that they were able to even conduct an uprising. I don't know, man. Let's continue. World building is interesting.
プリントいい？
ああ、ごめん。はい。
I hand over the affidavit along with the other documents, and it was taken away. Why am I in a position where I had to protect women? How did things get like this? Bro, we already had the flashback of how you got into like the fucking, how you escaped the front, how you ended up escaping the front lines, and luckily was protected by a woman. So, you know, I don't know, man.
はーい、ご苦労様でした。提出していない人はいませんね。では、今日はおしまいです。これ。起立。
Stand, by the way. Rian Senpai, who'd been standing at the edge of the classroom watching, shouted a command in a loud voice. Carried away by her momentum, I and the first-year girls all stood up at once. If you're not familiar with Japanese classroom stuff, this is where you know, at the end of class or at beginning, you stand and then you bow and then you do that. Oh, since this is a military, so they use at ease dismiss.
では、東堂さん。あとはよろしくお願いします。
We watched the instructor lead the classroom in a daze. The door closed in the next moment.
貴様ら、教官に敬礼はどうした？
Suddenly, a roar like thunder made everyone jump. Panic, some of them hurriedly raised their hands in apology.
はあ？脱帽時は頭を下げるって教えただろ。お前ら、私らの話聞いてなかったの？
Alright. It finally feels like a military school now.
とっさのことでしたので、お話はきちんと。
誰が口答えしていいって言った？
Ruriko-san, the Daitorius daughter, was stuck in there? That's amazing.
口を閉じろひよこども、ピーチクわめくんじゃねえ。ケツと口の穴を閉めやがれ、クソを垂れ流すな。
Suddenly, the senpais who had been so kind were shouting at me with foul language, and Akari sitting next to me was trembling. Well, that's technically the military after all. I kind of expected to be a bit stricter than that. I mean, bro literally went to the front lines and watched his bros die, so I can imagine he's like, this is supposedly the military? When are they gonna be like assholes?
皆さんは先ほど宣誓書にサインをしました。それは今この瞬間から皆さんも保安隊の隊員だという意味です。
Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's why they were acting so nice and kind before that. But now that they're officially members of the security force, get fucked.
宣誓をした隊員は組織と上司に逆らうことは許されません。不服があれば軍法会議に訴えることが認められますが、それらの手続きには時間がかかることを覚えておいてください。
Miku Senpai explained the legal positions and rights, but her matter-of-fact tone sounded like she was reading out the death sentence.
なお、脱作は重大な犯罪にあたります。信用スコアが大幅に傷つきますので、やめておくべきでしょう。除隊には除隊届を提出してから半月ほどの時間が必要となります。
Your credit score. Your FICO
つま
credit
り
score.
何が言いたいかっていうと、
Sumari.
お前ら逃げられると思うなよ。
In this day and age, this kind of power harassment is only tolerated in the military. Have we been underestimating them? The first years were all pale as that. All right, we're in episode 1, City for Women Only. Okay, we're still in episode 1. The next day, 600 hours, early morning.
おはようございます。
This is still kind. Doesn't the military kind of wake up at like 4 a.m.? Like, you know, that's what I heard.
はい、おはようございます。
The nostalgic sound of the wake-up call made me jump out of the bed reflexively, and I saw that Miku Senpai was already getting up from her bed. Of course, he'd been through that shit before.
片桐学生は新入生にしては反応が早いですね。まるで訓練済みの兵隊みたいです。
Kind of makes you think why.
寝起きはいい方なので。
そうですか。それは結構なことです。ここでの生活においては有利な体質だと思います。
どうも。
He didn't seem intent on digging any deeper, so I breathed a sigh of relief. I reflexively woke up, but I guess it wasn't exactly amateurish. I had to be careful.
気象総員お外に整列。小隊ごとに点呼。
And then a voice so dull it could suck the life out of you comes from the speakers mounted on the ceiling.
では片桐学生、5分以内に身支度を整えて整列です。服装はそのまま作業服で、洗顔を済ませ寝癖も直すこと。
はい。
あと姫の学生も起こして連れてくるように。
はい。
So that's what they meant by amateurish. He's still asleep. It was still early morning. It wasn't surprising that I couldn't jump out of bed right away, even with the wake-up call blaring. Well, I mean, the broadcast's on, and Akari-senpai and I are being pretty loud right next to her. She must be really thick-skinned to sleep this soundly.
あかり、朝だよ。ほら、起きて。
I call out from beside the bed, but there's no response.
あかり、もう起きないとダメだよ。
I cautiously, gently shook her body from under the blankets.
あかり、ちょっと。
No reaction at all. You're tougher than I thought.
5分以内ですよ。すでに1分45秒が経過。ちなみに遅刻は理由は同あれ連帯責任です。
Oh man, that's a big oh shit moment for him, man.
あかり、早く起きて。
Bro, just slap her face at this point.
こうなったらしょうがない。せーの。
As a last resort, I grabbed the baton and yanked it off in one go. Oh no. It wasn't expecting her to be sleeping in her underwear. And then, only after stealing the blanket, did I realize what kind of outfit Akari was sleeping in.
おはようございます。
ちょっと、なんで服着てないの？
下着はつけてるよ。
そういう問題じゃなくて。
温暖化は進む一方ですからね。寝苦しくて。私もスリープ時は放熱効率を考えて下着です。片桐学生は服を着たままで暑くないのですか？
おしとやかさにかけますので。
Bro, did you forget about he supposedly, quote unquote, she has, quote unquote, a special religion thing going on, quote unquote?
そうでした。宗教上の理由が。失礼しました。ところで、すでに残り2分を切りました。
早く服を着て。
何ですか？
I grabbed Akari's gym clothes in a panic, pressed them against myself, but my head started. Pressed them against her. Herself or myself? Started to spin. Because I'm so incredibly awkward about where to look, and some kind of sweet scent is wafting over. But there's absolutely no time for that sort of thing.
いいから早く。
Seriously, I can't stay serious when Akari's around. Akari. At the roll call, morning assembly, and calisthenics, it was time for dorm cleaning. But that's the thing.
113分隊整列。
Oh, they're the same height. It's good to know that the cover that they're supposedly twins match. Ish. I don't know, man. For some reason, Akari and Yaika were standing in the hallway with me.
休め。それで貴様ら、なぜ立たされているかはわかるか。
I'm guessing they're late.
それにちょびっと遅れたから。
その通りだ。嘆かわしいことに我が113分隊は本日の朝礼にその全員が遅刻した。
Bro, they're kind of fucked. Especially we're considering that this is essentially the class union show. They're really fucked. Oh man, they're not gonna have the best time of their lives here. Yeah, no matter how quickly I made Akari change, it was impossible to make it on time in the end. Yaika wasn't exactly the type to wake up feeling refreshed either, so she ended up bursting out at pretty much the same time as us.
でも遅刻って言ってもほんの1分くらいですよ。
Oh no. don't know what kind of shit you just went in, man. You just signed up for something that.
それに時間の方が短すぎるというか、私たちだけじゃなくて他の分隊の人たちもですし。
八重か、あかり。
Well, it's true that about half the students were late for roll call this morning. But obviously he already went through this hell once, so he already went through this hell once, so he knows what kind of shit is gonna happen.
いいか貴様ら。でもだってなどと泣き言をわめいて許されるのはママのおっぱいしゃぶって小便を垂れ流す赤ん坊だけだ。つまり貴様らは乳臭いしょんべん垂れだというわけだな。
それはさすがに暴言。
返事ははいかイエスだ、チビのしょんべん娘。泣き言は許さんと言ったばかりだぞ。
It's not like I won't get scolded just because everyone else does the same thing because.
あんたら揃いも揃って遅刻とか私に恥かかせてなめてんの？
ごめんなさい。
ごめんで済むならな、保安隊なんていらねえんだよ。
I mean, everyone else is getting chewed out pretty badly too.
さて、私は優しい先輩だからな。貴様らが乳臭いしょんべん垂れであると認めるのなら言い訳くらいは聞いてやろう。おい、片桐の姉の方、貴様は乳臭いしょんべん娘か？
The reply must be yes or yeah. You can't make a mistake.
自分は乳臭いしょんべん娘です。
This bro has already been through this shit. He knows what to answer.
いいだろう。言い訳を認めてやろう。貴様はなぜ遅刻した？
はい、服を着るのに時間がかかったからです。
やれやれだ。一人で着替えもできないよちよち娘だったとはな。
寝坊をして着替えに時間がかかったのは私です。ゆいちゃんは私に付き合ってお世話してくれただけで。
No, you're not allowed to do that.
姫の学生、誰が発言を許可した？
There you go.
すみません。でも
よちよち娘は自分だと名乗り出たのはまあ正直でよろしい。だがな、そんな貴様の世話を焼ききれなかったのは片桐姉が無能だからだ。違うか、守谷学生？
私は姫の学生を起こして連れ出すように指示しました。片桐学生は任務を果たせなかったことになります。
I mean, yeah, that is technically what happened. He failed his order.
つまり連帯責任というわけだな。姫の貴様のせいで片桐姉もこうして巻き添えを食らっているんだぞ。
はい。ごめんなさい。
It was painfully obvious that Akari was wilting before my very eyes. I wonder if this is okay.
その理屈だと僕が遅刻したのもレン先輩の連帯責任になるんじゃ。
Bro? Don't do that, man.
だから許可なく発言するなと言っているだろうが。
発言よろしいでしょうか？
まあいいだろう。確かに貴様の世話を焼くのは私だ。貴様を遅刻させた連帯責任は取らねばならんな。だから今朝のことは深く反省しているところなんだ。優しく揺り起こすのではなく、最初から全力で踏みつけて蹴り飛ばすべきだったと。
I mean...
明日からはそうするからな。きちんと起きられそうで嬉しいか？
暴力反対。
Good luck with that. Good luck with that, Yaika.
返事ははいかイエスです。はい、ありがとうございます。
Yeah, I'll try not to say anything unnecessary. I'll be digging my own grave.
それにしても 貴様らには期待していたんだがな。もしかしたら優秀な連中が揃っているかもしれないって裏切られた気分だよ。貴様らは無能揃いだった。一つ年上に過ぎない私の目からでもひよっこどころかキモースの静止レベルだ。いいか、今の貴様らには全く価値がない。ゴミクズのオタマジャクシだ。自分の立場が分かったか、戦士ども。
Akari looked away with teary eyes, looking disgusted. Being called Seishi is probably much more insulting to a normal girl than I imagine. I mean, in a...
だが安心しろ。そんな戦士どもでも我々が一人前になるまで鍛えてやる。なーに、死なない程度には加減するから怖がるな。どうだ、嬉しいか。
はい、
ありがとうございます。
はい、ありがとうございます。I'm joining them.
そうか、嬉しいか。ならまずは腕立て伏せだ。健全な精神は健全な体に宿るからな。姫の学生、貴様は何回腕立て伏せができる？
5回くらいでしたら。
She's joining a military force, by the way.
そんなんでよく保安隊に入ろうなどと思ったな。いいだろう、我ながら手ぬるいが、まずは30回だ。
無理。返事ははい、ありがとうございます。
やる気になってくれて私は嬉しいぞ。ちなみに途中でへばったら素敵な罰ゲームがあるからな。腕立てよーい。
Damn. I mean, in a situation that you're forced to try to survive, of course you have to try to survive, man. We end up collapsing onto the floor in a fit of despair.
腕が上がらないよ。僕も雑巾がけがとどめだったね。
After that, I was really made to do push-ups until I couldn't anymore with no breaks, and then cleaning the dorm without a rest. By the time that was over, class was about to start, so I scarfed down breakfast and ran to the classroom.
腕の感覚がなくてちゃんとご飯食べられなかったよ。あかりちゃんもゆいちゃんに食べさせてもらえばよかったのに。あれはちょっと恥ずかしくて。
やってる方も恥ずかしかったよ。あんなんてやるのお母さんじゃないんだから。
お母さんじゃなくてもお兄ちゃんだもん。
Honestly, this spoiled brat.
でも平気そうなゆいちゃんはすごいよね。私結局腕立て伏せも30回できなかったよ。
I wonder why.
僕もだし普通無理だって。涼しい顔でできちゃうゆいちゃんがおかしい。
I mean, aside from being a dude, he went through this shit before.
そこまで余裕じゃなかったけどかなりきつかったし。
それでも30回もできるだけで十分にすごいと思う。
腕力だけでそこまで言われても。
Compared to the strong men I remember, I'm pretty weak now, so it's embarrassing when people praise me. Even with all that, there's still such a difference. Girls really are built differently, aren't they?
まあゆいちゃんってマザーに選ばれて招集されてきたわけだし、兵隊の素質ありってお墨付きだもん。つまり
More.
選ばれし者ってことだよね。かっこいい。
そんなにキラキラした目で見ないで。
Even in the physical fitness test that was used as a selection criteria, I just did enough to get by. Since I wasn't chosen based on effort, I really don't have anything special.
そうですのね。片桐さんは招集組、マザーから認められた有能というわけですのね。
Oh, it's her.
え？
I turn around at a sudden voice from behind me.
素晴らしいですわ。あなた、私のライバルにふさわしいようですわね。
Why is she only in her bra? Let me guess. She didn't make it in time. She was sleeping in her underwear, and as punishment, she was forced to go through the entire day just wearing underwear. Wait, the young lady was laughing maniacally in her underwear. Why?
ルリコさん、服忘れてます。
忘れてるわけじゃありませんわ。あなた、私のことをバカにしてらっしゃるの？
そういうわけでは。でも、
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what happened. She was forced to do this because she didn't make it in time, and she was punished by just wearing her underwear. No, just wearing.
じゃあわざと服着てないってことだから。よし、続き。
違いますわよ。趣味でもなくて。これはそうバカには見えない服なんですのよ。
ああ、僕には見えないっぽい。確かにバカだし。
謙虚な自己評価をなさるのは愚か者なりにとても賢明な行いでしてよ。
その格好で高笑いはものすごくバカっぽいです。
あなたのそういうズバズバ言うところ本当に苦手ですわ。で、結局裸ですよね。どうして？はあ、仕方ありませんわね。認めます。確かに私は服を着ていませんわ。ですがこれはそういわゆる伝統というものですわ。
What the fuck? Is the translation correct? What is she saying?
伝統。
そうそう伝統の罰ゲーム。やらかした子が先輩に服を取り上げられて一日中ずっとこの格好で過ごさなくちゃいけないんだってさ。
Oh, okay. I get it. So if you're not able to do the 30, you're forced to just go around the entire day just wearing your underwear. Oh shit. So Yui must never fuck up, man.
そういうわけですわ。脱衣系というらしいですわよ。制服を着る資格がないという意味ですわね。
なんで自慢げ。ちょっとは恥じらったら。
だよね。恥じらいのない人には聞いてないよね。ちな、脱いだ服畳むのを断固拒否ったらこうなった。だってそれは使用人であるあなたの仕事でしょ。ちげえよ、ただのルームメイトでしょ。
The girl who suddenly came in explained things seemed to be Ruriko's roommate. She looked like she was having a hard time.
ルリコさん、そういうのはきちんと自分でした方が。次はもっと厳しく怒られちゃいますよ。
And while everyone was either dumbfounded or irritated, Akari alone was genuinely worried about Ruriko-san.
そう言われましても自分で服を畳んだことなんてありませんもの。うまくできそうになくて。
And she joined the security force. What the fuck?
はあ？そういうことは早く言えって。別に難しくないし、そんぐらい教えるから。いいんですの？
私もそのくらいでしたらお教えできると思います。いつでも頼ってください。
あなたの世話にだけは絶対なりませんわ。
そんな。
She seemed to be stubborn holding her ground, but it looks like we'll be able to smooth things over. No, wait, the problem is still ongoing.
つまりルリコさんは今日ずっとその格好なの？そういうことですわね。ところであなた、片桐結衣さん？先ほどからずっとあからさまに目をそらしておりますわね。
Yes. Why would you be avoiding her gaze?
気にしないで。
I get it. This is an all-girls school. Since we're all girls, it's okay to look, and looking away would be unnatural. What about the religious reason? But even if you say that, I'm still at a loss for where to look.
あなたもしかして
No good. I need to look at her more naturally, even if she's naked.
私の玉の肌が眩しすぎて直視できないのですわね。真の美しさを理解される方ですのね。それでお願いします。
そんなに私は分かっていなかった。いや、なんかこうダメだこりゃ。
Even so, force undressing, huh?
ちなみに途中でへばったら素敵な罰ゲームがあるからな。腕立てよーい。
Could it be that the Butsu game Senpai was talking about? Well, that's not necessarily the case, but it's a fact that such punishments do exist.
もし食らったら一発でアウトだよ。
If I get hit, it's game over in one shot. It might be avoided for religious reasons, but whether we can expect that much consideration when it comes to punishment.
絶対失敗するわけにはいかない。
I'll try to act like a model student, but just enough that I don't stand out too much.
私は美しい。
I averted my eyes from the strange young lady, who was laughing maniacally in her underwear, and steeled myself.
走れ走れ走れ
After lunch, the practical training began in the afternoon. Apparently, this academy's curriculum is basically lectures in the morning and practical exercises in the afternoon. And apparently, even with practical training, you can start anything without stamina. So today, I'm being made to run around the track countless times.
ちょっとだけ休憩を。
貴様は敵に追われている時に休憩するのか。追いついたらそのガキ臭いケツ蹴り飛ばしてやるからな。
どうすか。自分のお尻がでかいからって僕の可愛い小尻にやきもちですか。
Bro.
いい度胸だ。本気で私を敵に回したな。
田舎育ちをなめるな。
クソガキが待てよこら。
Yaika ran for her life, with Todo Senpai chasing after her with a demonic look on her face. What's that girl trying to do? Deliberately provoking a scary senpai like that. If she's lashing out in defiance, then it's her own fault. But there's also a possibility she's trying to draw attention away from herself so it doesn't fall on me. I can only be grateful if you're helping me keep my secret, but the problem is that I can't always count on it. And right behind me, Akari tripped and fell flat on her face.
怪我はありますか。 Her reply didn't sound very reassuring, but she looked like she was about to drop dead. Ever since I met her, so it's hard to tell. 立てますか。手を。ありがとう。ございます。
Gasping for regret, I grabbed the hand that was offered and pulled myself up. Oh, she. Okay, she's. Okay.
すみません。走るの下手で。
I wonder if there's such a thing as being good or bad at running. I thought to myself as I checked Akari's limbs.
どこかすりむいてない？痛いところは？
大丈夫。私よく転ぶけど、その分転ぶのに慣れてるから。慣れるほど転ぶのはどうかと思いますが、確かに外傷はないようです。動作にも異常は見当たりません。はい、全然平気です。ちょっと肺と心臓は限界ですけど。
もう結構走ってるもんね。先輩。
負傷が認められないのであれば休憩は不許可です。厳しい。時間内に指定のノルマは走り切ってもらいます。まだ半分もこなしていませんし、現状のペースでは間に合いません。息を整えたら再開してください。
だそうだけど、いけそう？
頑張ります。けどもし走りきれなかったら罰ゲームでしょうか？そうですね。一定のペナルティが課される予定です。じゃあ無理そうなのでもう脱ぎ
ます。Saying something like that, she suddenly started taking off her gym shirt.
そんな。
Oops, my bad.
違います。今回のペナルティは時間内に走りきれなければ周回数が倍になります。朝の腕立て伏せの分はすでにノルマに加算済みで、走りきるまでは居残りです。
Feel bad a little. How far back did we go?
じゃあ無理そうなのでもう脱ぎます。
Sorry, my screenshot app was like control print screen, so I had to press control, and control is typically used to do skip. Anyway, saying something like that, she suddenly started taking off her gym shirt.
なんで？待って脱がないで！
I grabbed her hand in a panic, so it only ended up showing her belly button.
でもちょっと無理そうだから、朝の腕立て伏せの分もあるし、潔く罰を受けようかなって。ペナルティが脱衣刑だとは一言も言っていませんが。違うんですか？違います。今回のペナルティは時間内に走りきれなければ周回数が倍になります。朝の腕立て伏せの分はすでにノルマに加算済みで、走りきるまでは居残りです。それは。
The declaration was that anyone lacking stamina would be worked to the bone and trained rigorously.
脱ぐ方がいいんですけど。ダメです。姫の学生の呼吸、鎮静化を確認。速やかにランニングを再開してください。そんな。命令は固唾み。返事は。はい、すぐに走ります。
Pushed by Senpai Miku Senpai, we started running again. Just like before, I'm leading the way, with Akari right behind me, and then Miku Senpai bringing up the rear, watching over us. While worrying about Akari's breathing from behind me, I ran another lap around the vast field, or so it seemed. Before I knew it, I was thrashing around on the shore like a fish out of water. Or maybe she was thrashing around on the shore. Like she was thrashing around What?
大丈夫？
No, I'm sure she's the one who's having a hard time. Yui's not having a hard time.
無理ねよ。これじゃゆいちゃんまで置いて辛いよ。
The model, man, it's just keep spreading, Kate. Give me a second. My models. There's a queue in my model for some reason. I'll be right back. Okay, I just had. Okay, I just had to restart the server of my alarm. In a voice that sounded like it might give out at any moment, she pleaded with me to go on ahead without her. In this situation, that's probably the right answer. If I keep matching Akari's pace, I'll definitely get penalized. Well, the penalty itself isn't so bad, but if I keep getting dragged into these things, I'll lose my composure in no time, and that's just asking for more trouble. I need to always keep a certain margin to safety, because I had to avoid getting into a situation where I end up with a stripping punishment for some huge mistake.
でも
Akari was struggling to keep moving, on the verge of collapsing.
ミク先輩、姫野さんを引きずっていってもいいでしょうか？
あなた方はバディ、お互いが支え合うパートナーです。無論手を貸しても構いません。
You're her partner, a buddy who supports each other. Okay.
私引きずられていくんですか？
別にソリみたいに引っ張っていくわけじゃなくて、肩を貸すから倒れないように捕まってて。でもそんなことをしていたら。別にあかりのペースに合わせたりはしないよ。ちゃんとついてきて。いや、どっちかというと無理やりついてきてもらうんだけど。頑張って。ついてこられなかったら本当に地面を引きずっていくから。
その際は私も片足くらいは引っ張りましょう。
I don't know why I'm making such a suggestion. It's obviously just going to be a hindrance, and nothing but a disadvantage.
片桐学生は良い判断です。脱落者を出した場合、どのみち連帯責任で全員ペナルティでしたから。
Oh, okay. So, okay. I guess that was really important.
そうだったんですね。
And so I was subconsciously expecting it all along.
じゃあ、
I took Akari's arm as she approached and wrapped my own around her to support her body. It was the way you carry a wounded soldier, or something like that. But when I actually tried it, I realized something. If I lean any closer, our chests are going to touch, and Akari's body is all damp and wet. It feels kind of strangely raw.
ゆいちゃん？もしかして私、すっごく汗臭いとか。
Imagine that smell.
大丈夫。嫌なわけじゃないから。
すっごく嫌そうな顔で言ってる。やっぱり臭いんだ。
It's not that I really dislike it, but I feel like something weird might happen. I held my breath and misinterpreted it.
とに かく死ぬ気で走ってもらうからね。
はい、頑張りましょう。
I steel myself and half carrying Akari stumble forward.
柔らかい、あったかいよ。
Tormented by intense agitation and guilt, I was already regretting it. In the end, Akari couldn't reach the goal within time limit, so she ended up having to stay after school and do extra laps. Even so, by the time a while had passed after sunset, physical training was over, and it was time for dinner then self-study.
あかり、夜もあんまり食べられなかったみたいだけど、大丈夫かな。
I muttered to myself as I reviewed my lessons at my desk.
まあ昼はちゃんと食べてたし大丈夫か。
If you're making noises like your stomach's growling in the middle of the night, I think I'll give you that energy bar I bought for a midnight snack. For some reason, I can easily imagine her with teary eyes and her stomach rumbling. And what am I laughing about? It's fine since I'm alone in the room right now, though.
油断しすぎだよ私。
Wait, this is incorrect. He literally just said, you're being too careless, myself. Why did it say Akari? By the way, everyone else is in the bath. Since we take turns bathing from dinner until bedtime, it's free time under the guise of self-study. I'm the only one who has been granted an exception and gets to go last.
最後ってお湯は冷めてるし汚れてるし。
I let out a small sigh, remembering last night's bath. I wasn't exactly excited about soaking in the water mixed with sweat, dirt, and hair of so many girls my age. Not at all.
はいどうぞ。
Just as I was getting a little restless, there was a knock on the door, and I jumped up in surprise.
失礼します。洗濯物の回収です。
あ、はい。ご苦労様です。
It was the automaton that handled the dorm's chores who came in. Back when I was in the male fashion, I never even considered using expensive automatons for menial tasks.
そこのカゴにまとめてあるので全部です。お願いします。
Oh, I mean, they didn't. More of them, not literally him, because you know. Man, I know they all went through military, but compared to what the dudes are experiencing, man.
かしこまりました。
Clutching up the laundry basket, the automaton returned to the hallway. A quick glance revealed it was carrying a mountain of laundry piled high on a cart.
まあ助かるけど。
I used to be a general laborer before becoming a combatant, so I understand how tough it is. That's why I feel a little bad about it. Oh yeah, remember at the start of the game he was reloading. He was doing the reload for the weapon for his Anaki's gun. Sighing to myself, I wonder what I was even doing with the machine.
やっほーゆいちゃん、ただいま。
八重香はこの部屋じゃないでしょ。
And just as the automaton left, Yaika came in from her bath. Akari and Miku senpai were with her.
お風呂ってこんなに気持ちよかったんですね。汗を流しただけでなく筋肉の疲労が大きいためでしょう。しっかりとストレッチを行うことを推奨します。はい、やってみます。
Leaving Yaika aside, the scent of soap waves gently from Akari and Miku senpai after their bath. The flush under skin is somehow alluring, making my heart race.
片桐学生、何かそわそわしていますが。
なんでもないです。お気になさらずに。ところで八重香は何しに来たのさ。
いいじゃん。話し相手にくらいなってよ。 リン先輩はどっか行っちゃったし、部屋に戻っても一人なんだもん。
More in life should be a luxurious time to be alone, but it's only the second day, so I guess there are still plenty of things she wants to talk about.
リンは分隊長ミーティングに出席していますので、しばらくは戻ってきません。ほうほう、そうなんですね。じゃあ今なら鬼隊長の悪口言い放題ってこと？
ミク先輩から本人に伝わるとか考えないの？
ミク先輩なら言わないって信じてる。内容にもよりますが、秘匿要請了承しました。いいんだ。ミク先輩大好き。
大好き。
どうも。
どうも。Thank you. You're blushing. I was a little surprised you actually have feelings.
それでリンが何かしましたか？過度なハラスメントを受けているなら私からも改善の要求をしますが。
By the way, it's the translation was incorrect. Domo can also be used for like thank you.
本当ですか？聞いてくださいよ。実は夕飯が終わって部屋に戻ったら、なにこれ？僕の荷物ぐちゃぐちゃになって床にぶちまけられてる。
荷物検査をしておいたぞ。高速違反はないようだが、散らかって見苦しいから早く片付けろ。
What's her problem?
先輩がやったんじゃん。
だから隊長の命令に逆らうのか？不服従か？貴様がじっくり反省できる懲罰は何だろうな。
Oh yeah, she does have a problem because she insulted her during the run. Jesus.
文句がないならさっさと体を動かせ、クソチビが。
Kusa Chibika.
ってことがあってひどくない？確かに言い方はちょっと良くないかもだけど、あれ、なんか微妙な反応。荷物検査は私たちも受けたから、部屋が荒らされてたのも一緒だよ。そうなの？みんなやられてるってこと？
Well, in our case.
所持品検査を行いました。では片付けてください。
あ、はい。
Oh, she wasn't an asshole about it, basically. It was just that Rin Senpai did it in the manner that's so much of that's such an asshole. But Miku Senpai was respectful about it.
ほら、ミク先輩ってあんまり怖くないから、別に意地悪されてるわけじゃなさそうかなって。
I was stunned, but I ended up following the matter-of-fact report and instructions as if nothing went wrong.
こっちの部屋いいな。僕片付けてる時もめっちゃ闇ばっかり言われたんだけど。
Crap from her while I was cleaning though.
お尻が大きいとか言うから、喧嘩売ったようなものでしょ。
Oh, okay. Never mind. That was literally talking about him.
こっちだってガキだのチビだの言われたもん。
Oh no, wait. I think she called Rin Senpai. Rin Senpai had a big butt or something. Yeah, I guess a little subconscious about not being able to grow taller, you know.
仲良くした方がいいと思うよ。同じ部屋で一緒に暮らす先輩なんだから。
They're talking about Rin, by the way, in case you're confused.
わかってるけど。
She looked displeased, her expression sulky.
それでミク先輩、結局あれは何だったんですか？全員やられてるってことは何か意味があるんですよね。
そうですね。あなたは何の意味があると思いますか？
I get a question in response to my question. It was as if she was conducting an oral exam.
こういうのになれるみたいな訓練とか。
こういうのって？
戦争だと近くに砲弾が落ちてきただけで部屋の中がめちゃくちゃになったりするし、そこから急いで荷物まとめて移動とか普通にあるような気がするし。
Bro answered as if he knows, and then he realized, oh wait, that's kind of normal, I guess.
その通りです。加えて災害現場などでも理不尽に散らかった環境に身を置くことになります。そしてそれを片付けるのが我々の任務です。
つまり理不尽な目に遭うことにもなれろってことですね。
ねえ、慣れたくないんだけど。
いざって時に文句しか言えない人は邪魔なだけでしょう。
新兵とは思えない回答ですね。
Already went through this, so he's gonna be like, oh, I just imagined things really well. I was startled by what I heard.
どのみち兵隊にはなるんですし、将来のことをいろいろと想像してみたりしましたので。
お姉ちゃんって妄想癖みたいなのあるからね。普通そこまでリアルな想像できないって。そうですか。なるほど。
Did I manage to gloss over it?
やっぱりゆいちゃんはすごいな。
ただの妄想だからすごくはないよ。
でも私そこまでリアルに考えてなかったよ。早く一人前になるにはそういうのも大切なのかなって。理想を持ってるだけじゃやっぱりダメだよね。理想ってなんかエリートっぽいこと言ってる。
エリートっぽい。
あれ？でもみんなにも志望動機とかあるよね。
私は招集されてきただけだから、拒否して非国民みたいな履歴が残るのも嫌だし。
んで僕はそんなゆいちゃんにくっついてきただけ。そうなんだ。普通はそういう感じなの？
そんなことないって。ちゃんとした目的意識がある方がいいに決まってる。
I tried to encourage Akari to look troubled with a weary smile. I see. Akari actually has a reason for being here, and it's something she's aiming for. Even as her face turned deadly pale, I remember Akari running with all her might until the very end. Is it because I'm burning with ideals that I hold? Is that why I can push myself to the absolute limit like this? If that's the case, it somehow makes me envious.
それであかりの志望動機ってどういうやつ？
I wanted to cheer her up, so I asked, but
ね、男を皆殺しにすることだよ。
oh shit! Oh shit! Oh my god! Said cheerfully. I froze up.
はい。それはちょっと過激なのでは？そうかな。
She tilted her head, looking puzzled and curious.
私ね、昔から正義のヒロインに憧れてたの。それでね、強い女性になって悪い男をみんなやっつけるんだよ。
Akari laughed like a child innocently talking about her dreams.
公式には現在も男性による国防軍は味方ですが、でもそんなのもう誰も信じてませんよ。子供を作るのに男の人も必要だから仕方なく受け入れているだけで。
Interesting. I knew it was going to happen. but this is reality. Men are hateful enemies. That was common sense in this world.
実は私のお母さんも保安隊の隊員だったんです。今は除隊してますけど、5年前にはあの反乱軍と戦って平和を守ってくれたんです。
Oh yeah, they did mention there was a men uprising, a revolt 5 years ago.
だから私もいつかすごくかっこいいお母さんみたいになりたくて。私そろそろお風呂に行ってくるね。
Without listening to the end, I grabbed the prepared change of clothes and stood up.
まだちょっと早くない？あんまりのんびりしてるとお湯が冷めちゃうし。
Am I smiling well enough?
他のみんなが出たらすぐ入るんだよね。いってらっしゃい。行ってきます。
I stepped out into the hallway, closed the door behind me, and let out a big sigh.
最初から分かってたよ。敵同士だって。
Remember when he got rescued? When the moment he saw a woman, he was like an enemy or whatever. He was really scared. Man, the segregation was so bad, man. I wasn't expecting anything. Not a thing. My only allies are my mother-in-law and Yaika. The dirty bat water that day was just plain disgusting. Several days have passed since I enrolled at Akasha Girls Academy. For now, my identity remains a secret, and I'm living a busy, strict life with no freedom and training.
第一小隊18名、欠員なし、総員健康状態に異常なし。
はい、ご苦労様。多少言いたいことはあるけれど、皆さんちゃんと朝は起きられるようになりましたね。
What I wanted to say was probably Ruriko's reply, but in the end, the instructor just let it slide with a ready smile. What she wanted to say. Unlike when I was in the male group, here there's no fear of being punched. There are insults, character assassination, and punishment that feels like bullying, but just not having to worry about violence made things easier for me. I was used to a tough life from the start, so I have a little more leeway than other people and can manage to be a good student.
では、ラジオ体操第一、始め。
のびのびと背伸びの運動から。1、2、3、4、2、2、3。
It's fine. No problem at all. Nothing about it is fun. One wrong move could land me in the prison, as I prefer the groping criminal, but so far I'm managing just fine. But if there's a problem, it would be...
今日は納豆ついてるんだ。私、ちょっと苦手で。
Row your vitamin K2. While waiting in line for breakfast, Akari carelessly muttered her dissatisfaction.
おい貴様、今なんつった？
私ですか？
そうだ、貴様。マザーが選んでオートマタ殿が丁寧に用意してくださった朝食に文句があるのか？
いえ、そこまでは。
ああ？貴様、私が間違ったことを言ったと？
はい。私は朝食の献立に文句を言いました。
何様のつもりだ？貴様みたいなウジ虫はな、あそこで丁寧に料理を盛り付けてくださっているオートマタ殿の1万分の1の価値すらねえんだよ。
はい、私は効果 で高性能なオートマタ殿の1万分の1の価値もありません。
なら文句を言う資格なんてねえよな。土下座して謝れ。
はい、土下座して謝罪します。
As she was told, Akari knelt down on the spot. Under everyone's gaze, she bowed her head deeply and prostrated herself. In reality, the position of a freshman was far lower than even an operational automaton in terms of being
いい
useless.
だろう。立て。
ありがとうございます。申し訳ありませんでした。
よく見れば貴様、制服にホコリがついているな。しかもスカートにシワがある。
That's because she just did it together after all.
服装不備。部屋に戻ってプレスやり直せ。はい。洗濯はオートマタ殿がやってくださるが、仕上げは貴様ら自身の仕事なんだぞ。ウジ虫の貴様らがオートマタ殿の仕事を台無しにするな。
はい、申し訳ありませんでした。
同室のパートナーはそこの貴様か。チェックの甘い貴様も連帯責任だ。一緒に部屋に戻って監視しろ。
はい、一緒に部屋に戻って監視します。
よろしい。早くしないと朝飯の時間がなくなるぞ。では
失礼します。
I bowed my head in thanks and left the cafeteria with Atari.
ごめんね。ゆいちゃんまで巻き込んで。
早く戻ってアイロンかけ直そう。
Give me a second. Okay.
ゆいちゃん。
何？姫野さん。
なんでもない。
I can't manage a good smile because I'm just a burden to everyone. That's probably all there is to it. She can't manage a good smile because, okay, he's thinking about like what she's thinking. Perhaps sensing the vague emotions, Akari didn't say anything more unnecessary.
急ごう。
No matter what we're feeling, time flows on without a second thought.
では今日の社会科ですが、人口の推移と少子化問題についてやりたいと思います。
During class, there was a moment of respite where I wouldn't be yelled at by the senpai, so there was a relaxed atmosphere, but
具体的にはセックスについてですね。まゆみ先生。
the instructor suddenly dropped a bombshell in a leisurely tone, sending shockwaves through the classroom. All right, I was curious about how they're still reproducing, considering the whole situation with the segregation.
大切ですよ。セックスはしないと子供が生まれないですし、少子化が進んじゃいますからね。そうですけれども。いいですか？セックスとは男性器を女性器の中に挿入して射精を行う、いわゆる性交のことで、それは子供の頃に保健体育でやりましたので。
Rurika's playing the straight man. I thought she was the one who made jokes, but it seems like that's all she can do.
まあ恥ずかしい気持ちはわかりますけれど、まさにそうした皆さんのセックス忌避が国会でも問題になっていまして。
国会ってそんなこと話し合ってるの？
反出生主義はそのまま人口減少につながりますから。すでに辺境では共同体の維持が難しくて土地を放棄せざるを得ない場所も珍しくないんですよ。
By the way, current day problems, by the way.
あ、それ僕らの田舎もです。 多分あと10年もすれば撤退だろうって言われてた。
それで街に出てくることにしたんですの？
まあそれもあるかな。
このままのペースで出生率が下がっていけば人類さんロボットに負ける前に絶滅しかねなくて。確かにそれは重要な社会的課題ですし、子作りに関する議論も必要ですわね。分かっていただけたところでおさらいしておきましょう。妊娠を決意した女性は何をどうすればいいですか？
はい。男女交際センターに申請すると専用施設で遺伝的に相性の良い男性を紹介されます。
Dating and marriage center. Huh. So there's still a concept of genetically compatible. Okay, there's also some sort of eugenics going on.
そうですね。その後は
ハイランビーを狙って成功します。
Okay, so they still do it naturally, but they do it like in a... Okay. Apparently in the male-dominated world, the prevailing rumor was that even a slight misstep on the man's part could lead to being sued after sex and having your life ruined.
よくできました。男女交際センターのパンフレットには成功の詳しい手順も書いてあるので目を通しておくといいでしょう。
そう言われても。
Akari being a perfectly ordinary girl with deep-seated misogyny towards men. Wait, what's the term for... Misandry. Okay. The translation should have been misandry, but deep-seated misandry towards men. Looks pale and flustered as she lowers her head.
ちなみにですが、姫野さんみたいにセックスと言われて躊躇しちゃう人はどのくらいいますか？
Most of the students have raised their hands. Following suit, I raised my hand as well, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Because raising your hand in this atmosphere is like introducing yourself as a slutty bitch. Wait, what?
まったく皆さん揃って臆病ですのね。お嬢、マジか。
Ruriko-stan, who's standing there so confidently without raising her hand, is quite the big shot.
お国方さんを奨励しているのですから、子作りに励むのは国民としての義務ですわ。令嬢として生まれた私がうろたえている場合ではありませんもの。
Okay, so there's some mistranslations that really confused me about like why they were raising their hand. But if you don't raise your hand, you're like, I get it now.
やっぱりルリコさんはすごいです。
I think I'm starting to understand why Ruriko seems so respected, even though Akari treats her coldly.
私がすごいのは当然ですけれども、あなたも産むのですわよ。国民としての義務ですもの。
Wait, that was a mistranslation. Should be like, I can see why Ruriko is respected, even though she treats Akari coldly. Anyway.
わかってますけど、本物の成功は。
ですね。それが一般的な反応だと思います。ですので、センターでは人工授精のオプションも用意されています。
I mean, I'm not surprised that artificial insemination is also offered because, you know, at this point they live so many years without like contact with the other sex, other than like looking at them as an enemy or something, that, you know, The concept of natural sex is probably something like
政府としては自然な性交による妊娠を推奨していますが、現代ではほとんどの人が人工授精を選んでいますね。
私はそっちかな。私もまあ一択だよね。
政府が推奨しているなら私は挑戦いたしますわよ。
base.
ルリコさんかっけー。
いずれの方法でも子供が生まれれば税金の優遇などはかなり大きいですから、今から妊娠出産について真剣に考えておいてくださいね。
By the way, part of this is like their setting, and part of this is the real life setting.
でもさ、せっかく頑張って妊娠しても生まれてくるのが男だったらなんかやだよね。
Okay, so they're answering all the burning questions.
だよね。正直気持ち悪いし、生まれたらすぐに男側の施設に連れて行かれるんでしょ。
And they're raised in childcare facilities across the country, then sent to military training camps once they reach a certain age.
男か女の子か選べたらいいのに、そもそも今さら男ってそんなにいらなくない？
ね、男の人の軍隊がなくなったらロボットが攻めてこない？
うちらとオートマタだけでもよくない？もちろんどっちも今のままじゃ数が足りないけど。
産むのはしんどそうだけど、男を盾にした方が安上がりじゃない？
それに男性を減らしすぎると遺伝的な多様性も損なわれますわ。
どのくらい残せばいいんだろうね。
I'm starting to feel sick. Our guy, yeah, man, this is so hard, bro. Because the girls were innocently discussing how many guys they should dispose of. I feel bad for this guy, especially he'd been through. Imagine he'd been through the whole combat thing, and then like this is the thing that's happening at the back lines. He watched his bros die, and this is the stuff that's happening. This is what he's protecting. Are you livestock or just a shield? Either way, no one thinks of you as an equal. Okay. Is my cooperation in training soldiers at this school any different from betraying my former comrades? Good question. I should have known from the beginning, but still, I'm utterly devastated. Yeah, I really feel bad for the guy. I'm gonna end after this scene. I'm gonna call it in. Hopefully, nothing really important happens, because I should get some sleep after this.
喜べ、貴様らに銃を撃たせてやる。
Oh man, it's the guns training. It's gonna be fun. Oh shit. Today was like my first shooting practice, and on the grounds, automatons were bustling around carrying equipment and setting up targets. Remember, in the men's army, they didn't have those automatons, so he was doing the job those automatons are doing now.
あ、すごい！鉄砲撃つ場所になってる。初めてじゃない？ちゃんとした訓練って感じ。今までずっと体力作りばっかりだったもんね。そうそう、こういうのを期待してたんじゃん。
貴様ら死後を慎め。次に無駄口を叩いたらダッシュでグラウンド10周させるぞ。
Knowing that would get her killed, even the usually cheeky Yaika shuts up.
初めての射撃訓練になります。油断や悪ふざけは思わぬ事故を招いて危険ですので、集中するように。
Mika Senpai also warned us in a slightly sharper tone than usual. We all nodded seriously at that.
なんかお前ら私とミクで態度違ってないか？
I mean, I mean, considering how. Okay, I got this trying.
はい、ミク先輩は怖くないので懐いています。
まあいい。とにかく気を引き締めるように。
And then Senpai Rin Senpai took the rifle slug over her shoulder, held it up in her hand, and showed it to us.
こいつは89式小銃怪。元は100年以上前に生産された骨董品だが、改良を重ねてロボットにも通用する威力がある。正直もっと新型の銃に比べると色々劣ってはいるんだが、特殊部隊でもなければ十分だし、保安隊ではまだまだ現役で使用されている。
By the way, it was also commonly used in second-tier units of the male army, military. I even used it when I was a child soldier, so it's a gun I'm very familiar with.
消火器では他にも対ドローン用のサブマシンガンや長射程の狙撃銃も使用されていますが、まずはこの小銃が基本となります。
Drone defense with submachine guns. Have you seen how drones? I saw footage of drones in warfare. It's so you have to see the drone very far up, but the moment if it's close to you, you're so fucking dead. And drones move really, really fast, man. Unless if it's pilot, you know.
全長は 916mm、 重量は弾倉を含めれば約 4000g。 小柄な女性には扱いづらい大きさですが、慣れていただきます。
まずはこいつの威力を体感してもらうために、本日はいきなりだが実弾を使用する。普段の担ぐだけの訓練だと弾なんて込めないんだがな。実弾ということはわかるな。
Asked, said in a menacing tone. We gasped and nodded.
決して銃口を人には向けないでください。標的の方向からそらしてはいけません。たとえ弾丸が装填されていない状態でもです。
おふざけは絶対に許さん。もしもこのルールを破ったら、いかなる理由であれ死んだ方がマシな懲罰を食らわせる。
The series hammered home. Our senpais hammered home the basics to prevent accidents. After all, if you mishandled things, there was no going back. It was only natural, really.
まあ、手取り足取り教えてやるから心配するな。まずは姫野と片桐妹から。片桐姉はその場で待機。取り扱いの手順を見ているように。
はい。
Since the two senpais were going to be monitoring me one on one, it seemed like I was being put on hold for now.
では姫野学生と片桐学生、八重香さん、サポートのオートマタから銃と弾薬を受け取ってください。あ、はい。
An automaton in charge of weapon management nearby was taking a gun out of the storage container it was placed in. The two rushed over and took the Type 89 Kai that was offered to them in turn.
おお、重っ。結構ずしっときますね。
そいつを持って走り回ることになるんだ。筋トレの大切さが分かったか？
ただのいじめじゃなかったんですか？
お前、本当に私のことなんだと。とにかくだ。銃のその重みは命の重みでもある。
鉄の重みですが。
ミクもちょっと黙っててくれるか？比喩だから。
Toto Senpai made a gesture as if she was enduring a headache. She looked like she was having a tough time, I thought.
つまり何が言いたいのかというとだな、取り扱いには注意しろってことだ。まずは安全装置の確認。側面にレバーがついているのが見えるか？
左右どっちのレバーですか？
連動して動くからどっちでも構わんが、扱いやすいのは右側だ。
あれって書いてある。なんかのおまじない？
そいつはセレクター。一発ずつ撃つか連射するかとかを切り替えるレバーだ。あーが安全装置だから、そこにレバーが合っているか確認しろ。
問題ありません。同じくです。では続いて断層を受け取ってください。取り付け方は
Miku Senpai and Rin Senpai started helping Akari and the others with their loading work. I still don't remember the procedure perfectly, so I just half listened to the explanation. I was simply staring at her as she fiddled with the heavy gun. A girl in a school uniform was holding a gun. The sight made my chest churn. Unlucky memories flooded back, and I felt like my legs were going to give out. To be honest, I was more scared of that than the robot itself back then. What the hell happened here? Did he encounter a woman while he was running away in the battlefield? Because apparently he encountered a woman. Huh. I couldn't understand why I was being met with such cold eyes, even though we were both human beings. The uniform that the woman was wearing wasn't exactly the same as the Akasha Girls Academy's current one, but it looked very similar. What the doing of it? When was he when did the events take when did the first set of events take place? Because we don't know how long he's been in the village before he had to go to the city to train. But he already encountered a woman before. That's the uniform I'll be wearing once I graduate from Akasha. Kakaku? What? I think that's Akasha's movie. By then, Akari and the others will probably look at me that way too. The gunshot that echoed around me snapped me back to reality. I wonder what that encounter happened. What's that encounter? Because maybe he encountered like a woman on the way when he deserted, and then she probably got shot or something by some robot, or I don't know what happened. I'm guessing she got shot because remember when he woke up, when he saw her his mother-in-law, he was really afraid.
どうだ？撃ってみた感想は？
反動がすごくて吹っ飛ばされるかと。
それだけの威力があるってことだ。片桐妹はチビで体重も軽いからな。反動を抑え込むにはしっかりと体幹を鍛えることだ。
チビは余計です。今の的に当たりました？
全然だな。次は伏せ撃ちをやってみるか。バイポットもつければ今のお前でも当てられるだろ。
姫の学生は何か感想はありますか？確かに重たくて当てるのは大変そうですけど、思っていたより簡単に撃ててびっくりしています。簡単ですか？手順もそんなに多くないですし、引き金ももっと硬いのかなって想像してました。
Two many steps and you'll be able to react in time during a sudden enemy attack. If the trigger is too stiff, your aim will waver when you pull it. So that's just common sense.
撃つだけなら多少の訓練を積めば誰でも扱うことができる。だからこそ銃は他の武器にとって代わって普及しました。銃を取って戦う行為に巨大な槍を振り回すような怪力は必要ありません。それが何を意味するかわかりますか？
Yeah, I remember the thing about when guns were introduced in war. Like, imagine knights who train all their life to handle the sword. They're riding their fucking steeds and whatever, and then someone points a gun at them. You know, some dude who was conscripted learned how to handle the gun for like a couple of months. Just shoots the guy who's trained all his life. Just ends the guy's life right then and there, and that's it. Anyway.
私たちみたいな非力な女性でも戦える？歴史上、素人の戦闘力を底上げすることで、一般市民、ひいては女性の権力拡大に貢献してきたのが銃器です。無論、ただ銃を撃つだけでは一人前の兵士とは言えませんが、適切な訓練さえ積めば、私でも男と同じように戦える。
Bro, that's all she's thinking. Trying to kill a man. Mika-senpai nodded in agreement. Actually, we're not in the Stone Age anymore, so the fundamental male advantage of physical strength has completely crumbled.
やれるんだって実感が湧いてきた気がします。
I wonder what she's planning to do. I wonder what Akari's thinking of that humanoid target as. My head's spinning. It feels like I'm the target, with a gun pointed right at me. I'm scared. The sound, so familiar from my childhood. Scary. Women are scary. Scary, scary, scary. So scary.
次、片桐学生。片桐学生？ゆいさん？
Oh, he really got like he got the war flashbacks, man.
はい。どうかしましたか？訓練中にぼんやりしていては危険です。
すみません、大丈夫です。
そうか、なんか顔色が悪いようだが。
はい、ちょっと火薬の匂いが苦手なだけです。
For someone joining the military, by the way. Saying something like that, I somehow managed to gloss over it.
そうですか。では、姫野学生から銃を受け取ってください。
はい。
It seemed Akari and Yaika had already fired a allotted number of shots, as the two of them were looking at us with empty magazines.
はい、ゆいちゃん。大丈夫？
Oh, Jibu.
なんでもないから。
Akari held out the Type 89 Kai with both hands, and I took it from her. The nostalgic weight, heavy and familiar, stirs my emotions. I think the ones I used to have were bigger and heavier, but since they're the same model, it's probably just because I've grown. A comrade in arms who had fought by my side, saving my life countless times. That person has returned to me.
弾薬をどうぞ。
Here's your bribe? I think this should be something else. Take the magazine for the automaton.
ピッ、ガラ。敵を倒せ。
What the hell? Even the machines seem to radiate murderous intent, but that's probably just my imagination.
弾倉の装着手順は？
見ていたので大丈夫です。
Without hesitation, I loaded the magazine, chambered around, It was too familiar in my hand to fumble with it like Akari and the others did.
次にコッキングハンドルを引いて初段を。
Even before hearing the whole explanation, my hand moved on its own. For some reason, I was too impatient to wait, even though I knew it would be bad. He was, it was drilled. It was drilled in muscle memory, man.
随分手慣れています。
お手本を見て覚えただけです。
First, I'll aim at the target with the safety still on. Wait, I need this. A hard sensation against my shoulder and cheek. It's okay. Nothing feels out of place. I could fight right now in this state. Fight? Against who? For what purpose?
いいですね。射撃姿勢はそのままで。片桐学生？
Ah, I finally noticed it. The prickling hostility, the tension, the abnormal animosity filling this space. That's right. They were enemies from the start. I'd forgotten. What with being so happy every day since my stepmom took me in.
敵を見誤るな。
When faced with murders and death from my comrades, I had no choice but to respond in kind. There's no point in pretending to be a newbie now. It was bound to happen eventually. It just came sooner than later, rather than later. That's why I... Bro, they literally just told you not to point the gun on someone. No, he's gonna get punished as fuck, man. I aimed the muzzle at her. I rotated the selector lever all the way around, setting it to full auto. Bro, he fucked up. He fucked up so bad. He fucked up so bad. Oh shit.
おい貴様、あかり伏せて。
Oh, the automaton. I grabbed Akari's hand, which was standing right in the line of fire, and yanked her down with all my strength. That extra movement threw off my aim, causing me to hesitate before firing. Oh yeah, it's the robot. The robot was trying to shoot him. It probably sensed that he was a dude. The automaton aiming its gun at Akari already has a finger on the trigger. It's too late. Why is it trying to aim at Akari? I thought it was gonna aim at Yui.
人間倒す。
By the way, this is an incorrect translation. This should be, it said Taos, which is defeat. Deciding there was no time to hesitate, I dove forward, pressed myself against the ground. Taking advantage of the situation, I pushed Akari down and covered her body with my own. Bro's been through war, man. I held Akari's head down, muffling her scream, and confirming the situation with a glance, I could see Toto-senpai doing the same to Yaika, pinning her face down. It's okay, they're firing wildly without aiming, so they must be alright over there. And the shooting stopped. Out of ammo? If that's the case. I stand up. Aim the gun. I felt a growing sense of urgency, knowing that if I didn't shoot soon, it would be too late. But missing was not an option. I tried to calm my tense body, repeating to myself to stay focused.
弾はこれだけ。
Because the automatons managing ammunition, we're just using what we have, while they've got tons of bullets.
リロード装填。
させるか。
As if I'll let you. My heart feels like it's about to burst from the tension. Even so, I carefully aimed. I somehow managed to suppress the tremor in my arm and place a finger on the trigger. The shot rang out. The bullet struck its target. Desperately, I kept the muzzle steady until all 30 rounds were fired, making sure stray bullets didn't go in any weird directions. When I finally exhaled the breath I've been holding, the automaton was ridden with holes. If it were human, it would be definitely dead. But since the target is a machine, I can't be sure. It should have shut down after taking that much fire.
殺せ人間殺す
What the hell happened just now? Why was there a rogue automaton just now? I flinched for a moment, thinking it was going to move again. But in the end, whether something important had broken or not, the automaton collapsed where it stood, as if its strength had given out. I wonder if this is really okay. I kept the gun pointed at the fallen automaton, but it's pointless since my ammo is gone.
対象の沈黙を確認。完全に破壊されています。
はい。本当に？
コアバッテリーが破損しています。ここなのですが、これが壊れると動力が供給されなくなります。
Miku-senpai approached the automaton and pointed her gun at one of the holes I had shot through it.
そうなんですね。知りませんでした。
I wonder why she knows that sort of thing.
まだ教わっていないのですから、当然です。
Oh, okay, fine. They're gonna be taught about it in case the well, there was an automaton uprising, right?
お前ら、よく冷静に会話できるな。
Yeah, Miku and I totally understand Yui. Why is Miku so calm? And then, as if snapping out of it a beat later, Todo-senpai also stood up and approached. Akari and the others were still in a daze.
すまん。1年に対処させてしまって。
いえ、弾が入っていたのは私だけですから。
The rule is that students only receive ammunition right before shooting, so the guns of the senpai who weren't planning to shoot were empty. That's why I had no choice.
しかしお前、今のは素人の動きじゃないだろ。
Oh.
めちゃくちゃビビってましたよ。
I'm not sure if I can really get away with that, even for me.
添付の際というものでしょうか。マザーが選んで招集をかけた人材なだけはありますね。
そういうものかね。
I'm saved by Miku-senpai's slightly airheaded comment. When she mentions mother, you can't help but accept most things, thinking that must be how it is.
ゆいちゃん。なんでオートマタが襲ってきたの？
Finally, seeming to recover from the mental shock, Akari and Yaika slowly get up. Their faces still pale. They watch the broken automaton from a distance.
暴走していました。おそらくは AI ウイルスに感染していたのかと。
There's some AI virus, whatever.
ウイルス。ガイアの流したもので人を襲うようになります。マザーも頻繁にセキュリティを更新していますが、次々に新しい攻撃が生み出されてきますので。そういえば入学式でも大統領が言っていました。数ヶ月前にオートマタの暴走事故があったって。
Oh yeah, they did mention that.
混乱を避けるために情報統制が敷かれているが、実はそういう事件はよくあるんだ。武器を扱うオートマタが感染していたのは大問題になるだろうけどな。姫野、お前はフェミニストだろうし、男と戦うのが志望動機らしいが、敵を見誤るなよ。
Yes, there are greater problems right now.
訓練の続行は不可能と判断。教官に連絡します。
Miku-senpai took out her mobile device. It seems she had survived, and I finally relaxed, letting my shoulders drop. It seems she had survived. What? Maybe the translation just got weird?
ああ、それはそれと片桐学生。
はい。
私は銃口を標的以外に向けるなと言ったよな。仕方がなかったのはわかるが、 いかなる理由でもって言っちゃったしな。
I mean, technically he did point at a target, but it just so happened Akari was in between. Okay, fine. I mean, it was we kind of foreshadowed it. I mean, it was we did see the automaton suddenly turn red, and we were like, huh? He kind of sensed that the automaton was having like some sort of like something weird was going on for it. But for some reason, the whole execution thing about like the because before that there was all that discussion. There was him thinking about Akari and Akari being so like wanting to shoot guys and all. So it had a stronger effect that you for me it was a stronger effect than thinking that Yui suddenly just decided to shoot Akari, but like there was an automaton behind her. At least for me.
まあ規則は規則だから罰は受けてくれ。
No matter how much you struggled, the military organization was just unreasonable. Oh, yeah. That sucks. All right, I'll have to end it here. At least we ended in a good note. Okay, let's not fight out. Let's not fight out because I need to sleep, man. I need to sleep. I have to be early at work tomorrow. Anyway, that's it. For what's this? Is there a shorter name? I don't want to say the name. Let's just say Maiden's World. Let's keep it to Maiden's World. It's literally there in the title, The Maiden's World. All right, that's it for today's Maiden's World, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Depending if I could have access, if Kazuko Keiku's DRM is okay, is working tomorrow, I'll upload that. Otherwise, I'll be uploading more of Maiden's World tomorrow. We'll be cycling through them, but Kazuko Keiku will be most likely finished this week. So I'm very busy this week with work, so we'll see. I'm no longer even playing gacha games anymore, so I don't know. I think we'll have time. We'll get to finish things. Anyway, I'll see you guys. Ciao.